This old guy DIY video has to do with taking down an oak tree that was wiped out during a hellacious storm in southern Michigan a week or so ago. So the lady that lives here said a tree had blown over the trail. She asked if I'd take care of it. So it looks to me kind of like a Widowmaker. It seems like I have an ongoing battle with the Widowmaker. I beat the Widowmaker heart attack, now I get to deal with this tree. So I told my first wife I was coming over to do this job. She said, just make sure your life insurance is paid up. So the plan is to just go over there and cut that main section first, and we'll see where it falls. And I may have to come back and cut this second tree out if the thing is still hung up. So we have my regular assortment of tools. The Husky 455 Rancher and the 1986 Kubota. Time to fight a tree. Well, this is the evening update, which should have taken 2 hours, is apparently going to take 2 days. So I came down here, and this is the tree that the Widowmaker was stuck in. So you can see I cut that extra 4-foot section off, and that still wasn't enough to break it loose. Then we come over here to the actual tree that had broken off in the storm. This one now looks like a beaver went after it. There's nothing holding it on other than the bind up top. And when I started this adventure, I was excited to have my new Husqvarna 455 chainsaw. And when I was cutting on this thing, all of a sudden the blade stopped moving and the saw kind of seized. And I saw the blade and the chain were hot. And there was absolutely no oil coming from it. So I went to YouTube and checked the easy things where you might have an obstruction in the small hole on the saw bar itself. And that wasn't the case. And I pulled the bar off and started the thing up, hoping to see some oil coming out of that little oil port, and there was nothing there, but there was oil running out of the bottom of the machine. So I called the local steel warranty place. They said, oh yeah, we'll be happy to look at it for you in 2 weeks, but I'm not going to wait 2 weeks. So tomorrow I'll take that thing apart and see if it's as simple as a disconnected line. We'll see if I can't finish this job off. So in an effort to get this pile to fall, I threw a strap around here and tied it to a Suburban and hammered that a few times with no success. So we'll use other techniques tomorrow. Have a great night. This old guy DIY has to do with the continuing saga of man versus tree. So there's the Widowmaker. And here's the tree that's holding it up with a chunk chopped off. And overnight, this one moved a little bit, but it still hung right there. So I wanted to get a rope over the top of that thing so I can tie it to a truck and pull out towards where that four-wheeler is. So my technique is to take a fishing rod, and on the end of the fishing rod, I tied a chain link, and I threw that over the tree. So with the fishing rod, I threw it from here. And my second step was to pull this thing with that hook on it over the top. Now my third step is to hook a big tow strap to this and pull it over the top. And then eventually I'll tie some tow straps together and be able to reach to a truck down here and see if I can't pull this thing out. You can see my tow strap up there. When I started this adventure, I thought the tow strap was longer and I was going to be able to reach it from the ground. And this little line was supposed to be just a support line. I think it's rated for about 1,500 pounds. So since I didn't have a long enough tow strap on there, I tied it to the truck and we're going to pull it. And since the force is pulling up, I flipped the trailer hitch over here so the rope won't have a tendency to want to jump off the ball. If that thing is hung up by less than about 1,500 pounds, it's going to work. Otherwise, I'll just snap this line and have to do some more tomorrow. Little strap broke. No one was hurt. We go on to the next attempt. I had forgotten that I had some regular winch rope. I think this is rated for 23,000 pounds and it's about 70 feet long. So I used my fishing rod technique. I went over the Widowmaker. Now I'm going to tie a bowline and tie it to the truck and see what happens. So I tied a knot in one end, put a big shackle here so as I'm pulling the lines don't cut or melt into each other. Now I'm going to take up the slack, pull it up there, and tie the other end of the truck. And in the end, man defeats the tree. So the key was the synthetic winch cable right there. You see we have quite a mass of crap that came down. So here's the one that was holding up the Widowmaker. There's the big beast that the storm took out. There's the last branch that wants to fall. And this is a pile of crap. And we had to use the technique I just used because it was unsafe for this thing to hang here. I would have hated for Bambi to be walking through and have it fall on him. And my brand new Husky 455 Rancher went to the shop today because the oiler didn't work as received from Tractor Supply. They told me the part won't be here until September 6th, so I had to get creative to get this thing on the ground. Took a little while, a fishing rod, some rope, but in the end, man wins. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. Have a great day. And the reason I like these bowline or bowline knots is I just pulled down a tree, yet I can disassemble this thing, not one-handed, but I'll take that knot out in just a moment. So it looks like the rope was fully loaded. It may have melted or stretched a little bit right there. But you can see the knot comes apart. Or with many other knots, after being put under that load, the knot would be there forever. So one more tip, use a bowline or a bowline at the end and you can recover your rope easily.